test of the Oklahoma Health Department.
That's has to do with medical marijuana.
Social credit score.
All right. So I got in the thick of it this weekend. One of the lawmakers who's really tried to bring this medical marijuana thing to something workable has been Representative Scott Fettgatter. I found out that a lawyer, a friend of mine, Ron Durbin, who's kind of the preeminent lawyer on this whole issue, who's got several lawsuits going against the health department and others.
OMMA.
Yes. So yeah, Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority is under the Department of Health. Well, it seems last year they were trying to get testing standards so that we know it would be healthy medicine when we did the rollout. Well, they screwed that up by a big power grab, and finally the Attorney General said, "You can't do that, guys. You have no constitutional authority."
You mean they made it
was
safer.
the moment you were proud of him, right? So anyway, so they said, "Well, we'll let the legislature fix it here in February and stuff. And between now and then, it's going to be Wild West, Let the buyer beware. You have no idea what you're buying." And so the legislature got together and they wrote a bill, and what they do, they punted football and said next end of August, health department will enact whatever rules they think are appropriate, and they kind of gave a guideline to them. So we're all waiting for the end of August, the big rollout of all the standards of how much pesticides, how much heavy metals, how much lead can you be smoking, right? And all this stuff. In the health department, we find out, they had 6 months to get ready for this, said, "Oh, we don't have a single testing lab certified. It'll probably be sometime next winter or spring at this point." So for the fourth time, now mind you, what was the reason they said that you can't take these illegal drugs? Because they can kill you, right? So for now a year and a half since it's been illegal, the health department's refusing to do any testing standards.
And they have tens of millions of dollars.
Well, hold on, I'm going to slow you down there, David Van. Since we've legalized pseudo-recreational cannabis here, this so-called medical marijuana, you get some glaucoma or your knee hurts, you can light up a big fatty, okay? We've had tens of thousands of Oklahomans die needlessly.
Really?
So I just want to tell you, any good drug dealer has a pharmacist in his drug den, and it's only smart that these marijuana joints on every single corner have their own pharmacist.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Sounds reasonable.
I've got a group of about 9,000 patients that I've been working with on finding. Okay, let's get the best treatment protocols for different things. I work with parents with autistic kids, kids with seizures. I've got old people with severe arthritis. I got hundreds of people trying to get off opioids using medical marijuana as an effective alternative, even better alternative. I've got veterans with PTSD, with flashbacks, panic attacks.
How many jobs have you cost at Johnson & Johnson?
Oh,
opioids. Have you thought about that?
And
You're hurting the economy.
Yeah. So we've got over 7,300 medical marijuana business. That's over 4,000 growers.
That's a lot of
about
licenses.
2,000 dispensaries in Oklahoma. Arkansas has. Arkansas, when they're fully running, they'll have 5 dispensaries. We've got 1,800, and licensed so far.
We got 77 counties.
How many of those are yours, David?
Yeah, I'm a teetotaler and I don't grow. So anyway, the thing I'm saying with this is you want to have it where people can feel safe, because there's people that aren't nearly as hardy to withstand whatever junk might be in something. There's people taking it that they may be undergoing cancer treatment or whatever, and stuff, and they need something that they can count on the purity, the potency, the effectiveness of it, and they're saying, we want these testing standards. We want the government to serve this role of making sure that these private labs are telling us the truth. Okay, that's how he set up. It probably wouldn't pass muster with
No,
your test.
it's basically a form of measurement.
Yeah.
Weights and measures. And
Sure.
So everybody's getting a just weight, and that's
Exactly.
absolutely
Good.
government's job.
Good. And
Yes!
so
It's the
but
only
it's-
benefit we get from
And-
shifting from the black
and
market
it's-
to government regulation.
Okay.
You
Weights
at
and
least know that
measurements.
it's actually
Write that
cannabis.
down.
And that's what I'm saying, David.
Yes.
Of all the things involved with this medical marijuana rollout, we need government to do one thing, and that's the standardization, right?
Well,
They're
more
arbiter.
that there can be some standardizations. Yes.
Right. That's
and then-
most-
and then
A pound of
creating
meat is a pound of
rules.
meat, and a gram of THC is a gram
But-
of THC.
Yes.
But David, of all the things, you scale back to just the least thing you need the government to do, just do that. It's been over a year
Yes.
now. They have no plans yet to do the one fundamental thing. And I'm convinced that Tom Bates, the interim commissioner, Department of Health, who's on his way out, if you believe the rumors that are flying all over the internet, that he's already been offered another job. I think it would be fine with people of his mindset if there was a few illnesses, a few serious, and maybe even some deaths, because it would.
There he goes again.
That's
Oh,
right.
come on.
It would be the pretext for shutting the whole thing
You
down.
can't characterize
Oh,
that guy's
you
opinion. He's
just-
not here to defend himself.
Oh,
You're out there,
what.
Tom.
No.
I'm giving you an
No.
open invite to
So-
the show.
So I'm talking
Right
to.
after Rex.
All right. So, I talked to Ron Durbin on Friday, and I went ahead and gave Representative Fedgatter a call. Had a great talk with him. He's, and he said, Dave, I've already explained these things. I don't know why they would need to do all this protest. And I said, Scott, you are not the Department of Health. You're telling us everything that you can think of that would be helpful. But what if they don't go with that?
Right.
We can't say, well, Representative Fedgatter said so and that's binding. No, he's not part of the agency, the executive branch of our state government. And so I said, Scott, get Tom Bates to go on the record and make these statements. Here's what I'm talking about, is everybody's got to comply with all this because it's in the law, but Tom Bates has no way to put them in compliance. And so Tom's telling these people back channels, we'll give you 90 days grace period on that. Well, really, he's given himself 90 days
Yes,
grace
yeah,
period.
yeah, that's right.
And that, but
Well, let's understand for the viewing audience. In Oklahoma, we have two ways that laws are made. We have the legislature, where they're really all supposed to be made, and then these agencies can create laws on their own, extra legislative.
And
Well,
the
you're
third
missing
way-
two. We've
And
got,
the third way would be
we've got state
would be
questions.
the
Supreme
judicial,
Court.
the judicial
we have state
activism.
questions or referendums, and
We'll get to
main
that
way
later.
is the
That's a
judicial
separate-
activism.
That's a separate issue, because even then the state agencies, if it's just
Right,
a
they're a
legislative
big problem.
thing,
There's over 500 of them. They act autonomously as their own governments. They have their own judges. It's insane.
Yeah.
Hey, let's just tune back in for a second. I'm Tom McKay, your host, with all three Davids, Van, Oldham, and Broso. We're talking all things political with opinion. I've got a couple more stories. We've got about 15 more minutes. What else besides my two?
California is, I thought that was the big news. You were going to say, you were talking about the big protest in California. I thought you were going to say they're underwater now. That global warming finally took hold. But I was going
But
to
to
say
finish
earlier,
out, I didn't want to kill your point. But I
Right.
just want to try to tell the audience.
Right, we're
wrapping
going to
up.
get into the black robe legislators that he just alluded to.
Okay.
But so here's what's happening. I think tomorrow, Tom Bates may, as early as tomorrow, come out with an official statement that's going to put these 7,300 and some medical marijuana licensed businesses at ease that they're not going to lose their license and all the hundreds of thousands of dollars they have invested.
Right.
Because that's the way they're treating them. But nonetheless, Ron Durbin said Thursday, still a go, we're going down to the state health department there on Cromwell and 10th Street, just south of the Capitol a mile, and watch the news, see what happens there.
So
Because
the protest is planned.
yes, and I don't think that the health department even wants this medical marijuana thing. There's a lot of people saying we need to roll it over to its own agency, much like liquors under the Able Commission, which
That'll fix it.
They
well,
can't run your life unless they have an agency.
well,
I'm always like, do you want to be clubbed to death or beaten to death by this? Like,
No.
which one's better?
they don't want it under the OBNDD, the Bureau of Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs, because their whole mindset is that, you know, you guys are a bunch of, yeah, and nor, you know, agriculture department, maybe the growers should be under there. You can make that argument because it is a agricultural commodity.
Weather Service is armed, they can hold the perimeter.
Yeah, so there's that, and that's going on at the Capitol this week, and then we've got that other, the Black Robe,
And the social credit score.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,